So the fact that when I saw this and saw that it was Comanche, I was just like, oh my God, because then it was 100%, within my culture. And so for me to be able to work on something like this was just like, it was amazing.
It's so much action. I really love the fight scenes. I love the accuracy of everything. And what I really appreciate was you took the story from Predator, Billy's story, who is Native American character from Predator, and his ancestors leading the story. Billy was Sioux, but what made you decide to choose the Comanche tribe as people to interact with the Predator?
First I want to say that we don't want to definitively say that this movie are Billy's ancestors.
No. Yeah,
but I certainly, as a kid, was loved Billy in that movie, and was so sad that I didn't get to see his fight sequence in that original movie, and so was so inspired by that it always stuck with me, and was certainly the seed for the idea of this one. So that is a huge part of it. The other part is wanting to make a movie where the protagonist was someone that we don't normally see as a protagonist. And Native Americans, and the Comanche even more specifically, are so often relegated to portraying the sidekick or the villain in a movie. So I thought it would be a really powerful experience, especially in a movie that's an underdog story, to have the watching of the movie be linked to the experience that the main character goes through inside the movie.
Well, I love the partnership that you and Jhane have, Dan and Jhane. Like, how did this come about? How did this partnership to bring this story to life together? And also, what was the process in writing the film and weaving this culture into it?
When we first started out writing the movie, we had the help of a woman named Juanita Pataponi, who was a Comanche culture bearer who unfortunately has passed away in the years of many years of developing the movie. And then when we had the script in a good place, but wasn't all the way there yet, but needed to go start prepping the movie and needed a producer, we needed to find someone like Jhane, and then we found the Jhane herself, who was deeply influential, not only in all the authenticity that the movie demanded to have, but also the experience of this character and making the Predator cooler. And for me, it's important to have a producer that has great creative instincts and that is easy to collaborate with and is supportive of what I am trying to do, and someone who's easy to embrace their own ideas. So Jhane really helped, not just on the authenticity aspects and getting all the Comanche stuff right, but even down to some great things that Nadu does in suspense sequences and the design of the Predator's feet. So it was a really awesome partnership.
Well, Jhane, I want to know, how was it to bring to life this be part of the Predator series, and also to bring the Comanche people and interweave that into this big franchise as well?
Well, for me, I grew up seeing The Predator. That was one of my very first action adventures that I got to see, and got introduced to Arnold and The Predator. So that was just like mind-blowing for me. And but I am Comanche. I'm an enrolled member of the Comanche Nation. And as a producer, sometimes I work with things that have like 20% native content, 25% native content, rarely in my own culture, because, even though it's Native American, we're all different. We're like Europe, we're all different languages, different cultures, different customs. So the fact that when I saw this and saw that it was Comanche, I was just like, oh my God, because then it was 100%, within my culture. And so for me to be able to work on something like this was just like, it was amazing. And Dan is so great because he's open, and very receptive to different things. And I just got to really apply my full creativity, which, I normally don't get to do. Sometimes you only can do so much, with a script. But because of this, this was even originally supposed to be 100% in the Comanche language. So, so now it's not, but we do have a dub that's 100% in Comanche. And there's never been a film in the total Comanche language, and there's never been a native or brand new film that came out that's in a total native language. So that's amazing.
No, and it's so great. And like, I love that you were able to intertwine the story into the Predator series. But speaking of the Predator, there's so many looks of the Predator from the franchise, including the skull-like armor that you guys have. How did this design come about? And did the skull-like armor have any significance to the story?
So what kind of armor? Well, I missed
the skull. The skull.
The skull mask. Yeah. Gosh, I wish I could remember the initial inspiration for that, other than just wanting this thing to feel so much more primal and feral, and feel like, the Predator has always been portrayed obviously as a trophy hunter, and it made so much sense for it to feel like it's wearing that trophy, and I've always been smitten with the idea of aliens that are infused biology and technology, that it's sort of the bioweapon thing, or the biotech thing. So I love the idea that the mask represents that, immediately, and that when you see this thing, you immediately go, oh my God, that's new. It's not as captivated as we were when the Predator first decloaked in the 87 movie. Now we get to have that same experience when this thing decloaks. We go, oh my gosh, that's what it looks like.
No, definitely. But thank you guys so much. That's all the time we have. But I'm so excited for everyone to see this. It's so much fun. It's so daring. It's so much action. I really appreciate the seeing this new story for the Predator. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.